Mahlzeit Freunde, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica. Hello. I create fluid art with the Shelly Art Bloom recipe and take it different places. And today we have a fun one. This is part of the under 5K collaboration. It's a bunch of people that are close to having 5,000 subscribers. And we kind of help them out and trying to give them more likes and following. So there will be a playlist down in the description and hopefully up there. Not sure. But definitely in the description. Along with my recipe, link to my recipe. Long story short, we're gonna embellish pours today, all of us. That is the challenge. Make sure to check every of the artists out and just give them a follow or like or thanks. Anything. It does help. Anyways, I had a lot of material for today and I'm trying to consolidate it. That is the reason why I'll show you the pour, but in a very short version. So if you are not interested in the pour, you can skip ahead and just not watch it. Then I will go through the embellishment in stages. See, this is the outcome. And I went through so many stages. My attempt was to change a pour into a landscape by adding paint. And I do several things, but let's just do the whole spiel. I start with my absolute favorite, Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold by Golden. This whole video is gonna be sped up, just so you know. This is Gilded by TLP, beautiful gold color, sparkly AF. This guy was Teal by Golden, followed by Nova Color Fluorescent Magenta. This is Abalone by this little piggy, Southern Ocean Blue Matisse, White Cell Activator, and a gold cell activator. Then I realized I forgot my black. We do not want to put paint on top of our cell activator. That's why I just go around the puddle of CA to not mix up those layers. This is my little tiny hairdryer and I start blowing out. I did everything you could possibly do. Every mistake in quotes. One is there, for example, I blew the pillow out. Then altogether, I think I used way too much cell activator. I did not distribute the cell activator a bunch, and this is the weirdest part. See how somehow, how do I say that? When you blow out, you just want to move the cell activator over your other colors. For some reason, the blue here tumbled on top of my cell activator and then made this streak of blue paint on top. So we won't have any cells in there. The issue with too much cell activator is that, in combination of not being able to distribute it, you have to break it up if it stays solid in certain spots. And that's why I started blowing into it to just make the layer thinner and give it the chance to repel from the other paints underneath and create cells. So I keep blowing, and here I did another thing. So much paint on here. I tried to interrupt that blue streak that I had there and ended up putting a black streak on top. Well, you gotta practice to learn. And that's what I'm trying here. So. And it's not criticizing my work or ability. For me, it's to show you why certain things happen. And I think that's more important than saying, oh, I failed. No, you just did something that brought you to a certain spot in your life, in your painting. Blah, blah, blah. We're almost done here. I show you the flyover in just a second. Lots. Oh, the last 2 spins actually did it. There we go. One more tilt, and then we're flying over the sky. Some crazy cells in this. I love the magenta and the quinacridone nickel azo together, even though it's kind of tricky using a fluorescent paint because the mixing, for some reason, has nothing to do with color theory in anything. Every law that I learned is not applicable to UV or neon paints. Maybe one of you could explain that to me. This is it. Next step. Quite a overwhelming pour. A little bit too much for my liking, but that's okay because I'm gonna change it. You will see though that the overwhelmment is kind of a silver lining through the whole project, but you know, that's what happens. So this is my idea. This is a sketch of a mountain scene, and this is my pour. So I want to bring that mountain scene onto this canvas, and I start with adding artist masking tape. You should find it in any well-organized art supply store, especially if they offer airbrush. This is just like your regular blue tape. The difference is that it's wider and more expensive, but also see-through. So I can apply it to my painting and make marks. I use a regular acrylic marker. You can use anything basically. And then I use my xacto knife to cut it. In the beginning, I just score, and then when I want to remove it, I cut it through. You have to be really careful to not score your canvas. If you feel up to it, you can mark it, take it off, cut it, and then put it back on. But I always mess that up, so I'm not doing that. I'm not sure what I'm looking for there. But you see, I got my airbrush out and, oh, my mask. I wanted to show you that guy. It's a mask with a charcoal filter inside, so different than your usual masks. And that keeps away parts of the odor of paint. It's not good for resin. Any harsh chemicals, please use a respirator. But this here helps to not get all that paint into your lungs. Please do not underestimate the harm in that. Especially with airbrush, the particles fly around, and this is the mask that I use when I use an airbrush. I'm not an airbrush pro. I got that because I'm fascinated with it. It's a pain in the butt, you guys. It's hard to clean. It clogs all the time when you're a beginner. I finally figured that out, and I'm still learning. So you do not have to use an airbrush. This is just, you know, it's just fun to do. When you're doing a landscape, you have to have certain things in mind. If you did, in quotes, traditional painting before, you kind of know that everything far away is lighter, everything closer to you is darker. There are certain rules in painting that I learned in my past life and that I will try to use in this painting. I start with the sky, and I will basically just use my white and Southern Ocean Blue by Matisse, the same color that I used in the pouring. And that's the trick of a harmonious painting, you guys. It's using the same colors in every layer. So if I used a completely different color, that might have a different effect than I want to. These are all magical little things that you will learn when you work a little bit with color theory. And if you're interested in that, my plan is for the next fluid art experience that will happen probably in springtime next year, and there will definitely be a color theory course for you guys that I'm super excited to teach. Painting with acrylic paints is easy if you're used to. So I want to make sure that I use transparent colors, make them more transparent with water, so that I do not cover up my pouring. I want to see the cells after. So don't get me wrong here, I don't want to cover everything up. I do want to see the cells underneath and work with them to make this piece look like a landscape. And this is the next step. I worked on the sky. I'm not talking about that one. Please don't look at it. I'm cutting out my mountain. Once I peel off the masking tape, I work on the mountain. I add shadows, I add highlights. I will put the stencil back on so I keep the sharp lines of the mountains, and in case I have to work on this again. And I'll, spoiler, definitely will work on the sky again. Let's speed this up. I know you don't have all day, and I'll be back. So the way I'm applying the acrylic paint is called glazing, which basically means you use a transparent color. So you saw me spraying or painting some parts white, and now I'm going in with my nickel azo gold. Which is transparent by nature, and go over the white part. That way I make sure that the yellow really is light and yellow. I decided to put in a lake or water. I want this to be a landscape, but still I want it to be abstract. I mean, it's covered in cells, so it's gonna be abstract. And all I did so far, other than put my straight line in form of a masking tape on, is work on the different areas of my top part of the painting, making parts darker, other parts lighter. That's all I did. All you need to do in creating depth in your painting is making your darks darker and making your lights lighter. When I work on the water part, I will just glaze my painting with Southern Ocean blue, because water is blue, right? Same time, I will try to add some ripples, some light and reflection. And that's when I bring back the stencils and I flip them over because obviously it's mirrored and the masking tape only sticks on one side. Sorry, battery died. So in this step, I added one layer of glaze on top of my water part. That's all I did. And what I did before, the whitening of parts, you will see now in the painting. They are lighter blue. Pretty cool, huh? All I'm doing from now on is add some detail, make my darks darker, make my lights lighter to emphasize the depth of it. And I gotta admit, I'm a little bit rusty and I'm a bit insecure too. I'm sure I didn't do the whole lighting right, but I'm going easy on myself. I'm just diving back into painting, and I will give myself the time to relearn it. It's time to go over the sky again. I did work on it a bit more and needed to make it simpler. Simplify it so that the other parts have a chance to glow more. And isn't it funny how the painting upside down looks like an abstract piece? It's very cool and versatile, and it's abstract enough to see something totally different in it. I add some more ripples and details to the water part, and I will make the outside a tad darker to achieve more depth, and that's all I'm doing. that is it. The only thing that I did that you did not see me do is add a little bit of a vignette around the bottom part to make that illusion of depth a little bit stronger. That's it from me. If you press on that link for the playlist, YouTube will bring you to each participant of this collaboration. Just, you know, check them out, give them a like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Thanks below 5Kers for thinking of me, and thanks for doing so well with the challenge. See you soon. Bye-bye.